What's up, everybody? Dark Knight 316, Robert Really Gaming, and this is the Tackles and Takedowns podcast. So, a lot of wrestling, been happening within Raw, NXT, and advancing to the King and Queen of the ring. The winner of those matches ends up going and getting a title shot at SummerSlam. So, we'll get started there, but like always on this podcast, we go over the news of wrestling, and then we're going to play the best wrestling game on the internet, Wrestling 20 Questions, where in this episode, Robert Wheeler Gaming has picked the wrestler that Dark Knight 316 is going to have to guess.
Now, I got a good one for you. So
he says he has a good one. We'll see how good it is.
We'll see how this works out. I think this one would be... I think, personally, if I give odds, I think you'd probably get it correct. But I think it's a good pick this time. So we'll see how it works out.
Because last time, he didn't guess it. He guessed Tito Santana. It ended up being Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh.
So, we'll see. Pretty good. Alright, so, if you could tell from this picture... That's Dominik Mysterio. That's McDonough. And it looks like Oba Femi has defeated Dominik Mysterio to advance to the King of the Ring finals. So, we'll see what else happened here. It looked like it's World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns gifted Jacob Fatu the Ula Fala and welcomed him into the bloodline. Now, this isn't the red Ula Fala that... Roman Reigns got gifted from, but this is a Ula Fala, and I guess some comedian guy was touching the Ula Fala for Jacob Fatu, so Jacob Fatu beats him up.
Was Jacob Fatu? Now it's been a while, but was he in the original Bloodline? Was it him and Solo Sikoa, or was he the one who defected?
He was with Solo Sikoa, and then.
Because was it when they had the Bloodline Civil War or whatever it was? It was who were the four, and then Sami Zayn. That's what I was trying to remember. Was it Jacob Fatu?
It was Roman Reigns, the Usos, and then I believe it was Sami Zayn. And then,
they only had the four.
And then on Solo's one, it was Jacob Fatu. Tola Tonga and the
MFTs or whatever.
And then Jacob Fatu left it to go on his own, and then the other Jay or whatever turned and went on his own.
Roll it back.
But the comedian that Eric Andre, which is the dude with usually that has the fro, he touched the Ula Fala and they beat him up. So that's him right there in the ring. And then we had IYO SKY defeated Raquel Rodriguez to advance to the semifinals for the Queen of the Ring. So they might have her win and then go up against Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley's still going to win it, though.
Yeah, but it says IYO SKY rose above Raquel Rodriguez with an earth-shattering powerbomb over the moonsault combination. And then Chad Gable defeated Rusev. And then the Luchadors came out to help him, Rey Mysterio and, what's his face?
They need to give Chad Gable, I think, a title now.
Dragon Lee.
He's been doing the whole Luchador thing. I think it's time. I mean, especially, too, because he signed with them for a long-term deal. So I think it's time. And they're trying to make him a Kurt Angle. So we might as well.
Yeah, they're making him, like, a baby face type ones now, because now it's like he got the mad respect from the luchadors, so now they're going to come out and show him respect now that since he lost for being the El Gran Americano, which nobody knew it was him.
I was never able to figure it out. So
that's why it was weird when there was two, and we could never figure it out. But he has new entrance music. So he originally came out with his American Alpha music, but then it changed.
Does it go? Is it like dun, 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 dun?
No, but that would be weird though if it was.
And they come on and go, "You suck."
And then LA Knight was talking trash on Jey Uso, and Jacob Fatu wasn't having it, so he came in and put in the Tongan death grip to LA Knight.
See if I think LA Knight ends up winning a title. Like if he somehow wins, let's say like Money in the Bank, challenges if Cody Rhodes lost the title, he would beat like a Gunther or somebody like that if they were to face each other, because they're not going to have him beat a Roman Reigns.
Yeah, well, now Money in the Bank, they pushed it to October, so I guess that's going to be a more interesting thing now, because now if they're going to keep the King and Queen of the Ring during this time, and they face in SummerSlam, then that means that then we're like the October-ish one, maybe that person will face that like Royal Rumble or something.
Yeah, but I think though that it gives an opportunity,
or that they keep that until WrestleMania,
because a lot of times, they like if they do it this month and then they take the Money in the Bank, they usually hold it for a long time anyway. So I think they're trying to help. They try to make it quicker to be able to use the Money in the Bank, so then you don't. Yeah, like people aren't holding it for a year. Like a lot of times they hold it for a year because they can't figure out who they're gonna cash it in to.
Yeah, so I think that might be a better thing for it to have Money in the Bank.
At least then you could see a lot of people either cash in at WrestleMania, or they can hold it like past WrestleMania,
like Rumble or something like that,
and do something to where it gives you opportunity to push past Royal Rumble or WrestleMania if you need to.
Because it's supposed to be a year, but who knows? And in WWE rules, because they change all the time. But Charlotte Flair defeated Roxanne Perez.
She needs to retire. I mean, I bet she's probably mad because she's been doing a lot of like tag team and stuff like that. But I think it's time. I think it's time for her to retire. But I heard that Tessa Blanchard left Impact Wrestling.
Oh, did she?
So, I don't know if her contract was up or not. I didn't get to look it up.
Hopefully they get her on WWE, because she would be a good heel. But, so they said that the Javon Evans Logan Paul tried to have Javon Evans join the Vision, but he wasn't having it, so they ended up fighting it. But it didn't look like that's Logan Paul. That looks more like it's Austin Theory, but whatever. Oh yeah, Javon Evans defeats Austin Theory by disqualification, and then it looks like they had Braun Breaker interferes in Austin Theory's match against Javon Evans.
Braun Breaker
forward, and returning Angelo Dawkins comes to rescue and sets up a World Tag Team title match, because right now I believe Braun Breaker and Logan Paul or Austin Theory, one of those two, are the tag team champs.
Yeah, but Logan Paul injured himself.
Yeah, so I think that's why Braun Breaker's the champion. But what I was gonna say is, I think that they might have it where the Vision turns on Braun Breaker, because it looks like Braun Breaker keeps interfering in the matches with the Vision. So I think it's going to get to a point where it's like Austin Theory and Logan Paul is going to get pissed off. And that's why I think that they're trying to recruit other members so that then they can go and beat up on Braun Breaker. Because, Seth Rollins was part of the Vision, and then they jumped him. So, and then here they said Oba Femi defeated the AAA Mega Champion Dominik Mysterio in the King of the Ring semifinal match. I didn't know he won the title again.
Is the AAA Mega Champion kind of like the highest title?
I think it's either the highest title or it's a mid title, but I'm pretty sure it's the highest.
Why would they call it a mega title? If it's a mid, wouldn't it be like a mid mega title or something?
Yeah, but so they're making Oba Femi now, trying to be dominant. But it says, despite the disruptive JD McDonough in the ringside, Dominik Mysterio used a hammer in his boot. Oba Femi defeated Dirty Dom with a fall from grace to advance to the final.
That JD McDonough, like he's one of those wrestlers where it's like you have him on this faction, but there's not really anything to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, but you think like you release these other guys, but then you got this guy on there.
Yeah, I know. So he must be popular to somebody because they're keeping him. And then here's the results of NXT. So we got, let's see, we go to the first one here. We got Lola Vice and Zarya nearly come to blows in an explosive exchange. So it looks like they might put Lola Vice back down to NXT, which is good because she does need a lot of the training, because when you saw her on SmackDown and stuff like that, like, she looked horrible.
Is the it seems like in NXT the women's division is taking off right now more than the men's, which is good because they need more women. They need more women wrestlers to build up to.
I mean, I've always said that there should just be a woman's wrestling show, like they did when they did the Evolution, and they had the women's pay-per-view, all women's pay-per-view. Like, I thought that was cool. Back in the day, they had the WoW Women's of Wrestling, and they also had Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, which was the Glow. I think that if they don't own the rights to any of those names, maybe they should come up with something else. But I think that all the women should have their own.
I think it'd be tough though now with UFC owning. I think it'd be a little bit tough because I don't think they see kind of like, which would be weird though, because Ronda Rousey did a whole UFC, but I don't think they see the value in it.
Because I mean, I find this because like a lot of the times they have to scramble for time for the women to actually have some type of like spotlight on the regular show.
Yeah.
So if they have their own program, they can have their own writers, build up more of the storyline and stuff like that. I think that the only reason why they don't do it is because maybe they think that it's not going to be popular, and they don't think that people will probably watch it, which, I mean, it might be. That's maybe why Glow and those other ones didn't make it, or you'd see that they'd continue to have it. But I think that because since they have so many of the women wrestlers and they don't get a lot of TV time to build up, and like most of the ones on the programming, you mostly just see the usual ones: Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, like
Izzy Dane, like
like people like Tiffany Stratton, like only like the top builder ones, not any of the other ones to build storyline with. So I think that, I mean, maybe that's what NXT is trying to do, but I think that they should just have their own programming and do it.
And so what I think is pretty crazy though is because for like the last few years you had it where it was like the NXT men's was taken off. You'd get kind of the NXT men would go up, you'd get some popular stars, but now you like when I look at the NXT men's wrestling, I don't see a guy who would be like like the number one guy if you brought him over into, let's say, Raw, and you started to I don't see a guy like that. Where in the women's division looks like that they would have tons of women who you could potentially, like, look what they did with Sol Ruka. Like, they brought her on there, and then she wins a title, and she's pretty popular. So I'm starting to see the women's division in NXT, which is awesome. I think that's pretty good for them, but I'm starting to see a shift where, like, I can't see who would be a men's, like, the next Roman Reigns. I don't see that right now. Yeah,
they're trying to push a lot of these guys. They're trying to push to get up there to the main roster, but a lot of times they're good in NXT,
but they're not.
But once they get called up to the main roster, like, it has what they call like the main roster fatigue. Is basically, it's like they can find many storylines for them on NXT, but once they get called up to the main roster, it's like now they get buried into mid card or lower card because people like them in NXT, but the normal people that only watch Raw and SmackDown that they claim normal don't like this guy. So,
but I know, like when they come from NXT to the main roster, they can change their name. But like if you look, Tavion Heights defeats Jackson Drake. Do you see any of those names as somebody who's like a Roman Reigns? Like a Cody Rhodes. Like, do you see any of those? I don't see any of those names.
Well,
like that.
The Jackson Drake has more of a name that could be champion material, like up in the main roster type.
Probably Intercontinental.
Like Tavon Heights, like that doesn't seem like it flows as well. But who knows? Because Trick Williams didn't sound like it'd be a champion.
But you gotta whoop that trick.
Whoop that trick. Everybody likes that thing.
But you know what though? Like when I saw him at WrestleMania, he's actually a pretty good wrestler. Like I think he's going to be one of those that could actually do both. But I do want to see him get a title shot. I think he has even if they start up billing him because he reminds me of a Booker T. I think that's like how they're trying to bill him. But I think if he kind of gets away from that whole like making it feel like a Booker T kind of feel, then I think he'd probably be a pretty good champion.
And then they got Izzy Dame defeated Thea Hale for the women's speed tournament champion. Now the women's speed tournament championship is founded on the internet. It was like a 3-minute match that's on the internet, and they have the champion and stuff like that. But she kind of looks like Tiffany Stratton on that one.
And then, that's who she won. Izzy Dame
for the speed tournament. Yeah, go off against it. And then Natty defeated Jada Parker, so they put Natty into NXT.
Yeah, which is good for her because not only because she isn't getting a roster time, but she can help train a lot. She would be the best
trainer. Yeah,
I think she would be the best to help train.
So
these
if they
people.
had a all women's programming, I think Natty would be good as a trainer.
She'd be good as a trainer. I think she'd also be good as like the they have her as like a GM or something, like the whole brand of the women's, because I don't think she's one of those who put in the time, like had her career and things like that. And now kind of at the end of her career, trying to help younger superstars, kind of like the, what Bret Hart should have done, kind of like that.
And then Ariana Grace defeated Layla Diggs for the tournament match as well. And then they got Lola Vice and Kendall Gray defeated NXT Women's North American Champion Zaria and Kalina Jordan. And then that's Zaria. I think they're booking her, Zaria, as more as what's her name, Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, that's right.
I think because that's what it reminds me of when I see her. And then so that's pretty much it. They're building up the main men's roster with. Right here, you can see it on there, but
Naruko and Tony
D'Angelo. So they're saying that Tony D'Angelo is like the next big star.
Like, he might, but I still don't see him enough as like the guy.
I mean, he looks like, I don't know. Yeah, he doesn't look like he'd be the guy that can do it. So, but that's all the wrestling news so far. We'll go back we'll have Raw back here. And then let me do this one.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we're going to introduce it.
Take off
Take a look.
Go Rollins!
Oh, you want to take a look? Let me pull it up on my phone here.
All right, so if you didn't know, it's Wrestling 20 Questions. I'm going to have to answer yes or no questions and trying to guess this wrestler here. You want me to put down the questions? Like how many questions? So that,
if you want to take the kind of the lead of how many you actually did, because I won't be able to.
If you didn't know, in this Wrestling 20 Questions is I gotta ask 20 yes or no questions, and I get 3 hints to try to guess this wrestler that Robert Wheeler Gaming has entered. I'm gonna move this way because he always says I cheat, which I don't.
So
I'm just that good.
So with the rules of this game is basically Dark Knight has 20 questions to be able to answer the wrestler that I chose. He gets 3 hints of anything of my choosing to hopefully help stump him for not being able to guess it, but he has 20 questions, and on the 20th question he has to be able to guess who it is.
Yeah, so I don't get any more yes or no.
So we will kick it off with your first question.
All right. Did this wrestler wrestle in the 80s and 90s?
Now, are you asking for both, like, decades or a portion?
I will say, so I will repeat the question. Did this person wrestle pre-Attitude Era? So before 98 or 97 or whatever? The Attitude Era?
I believe yes.
Okay.
Let me just double check my beliefs, though. Yeah.
He wrestled before it?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this wrestler got its fame in the 80s?
No.
Okay. So it's a 90s wrestler. Is the highest belt that this person got was a mid-tier?
No.
So did this person ever win a world title?
Yes.
Okay, so won a world title. Was this world title the WWE or World Heavyweight Champion?
WWE or World Heavyweight? Yes.
Yes? Okay. Because then that eliminates ECWs.
ECW.
Has this person appeared in another promotion? So like TNA, AEW,
no.
WCW?
He's predominantly
WW.
Predominantly been a WWF guy.
Has this person ever been in a tag team?
Yes.
Is this person predominantly known as a tag team?
Yes, he was predominantly known as a tag team. Well, now I just said he, so I gave you a clue.
And then he branched off into singles?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What question you on?
I'm on question 9.
Okay.
I will use one hint.
One hint? He was starting out was not part of a tag team, and that's all I got.
So he started out not part of a tag team.
Not like part of a big tag team.
So then he probably won his title then, and then they put him in his tag team now. Okay. That did not help, but is this person wrestling today?
No.
Okay. And wrestling today means even in the other...
Like currently active or something like that?
Like,
no.
Even in like TNA or AEW or
no.
like that. Okay, so they're not wrestling today. Is this person known as... Well, I'll put it this way. Did this person have multiple gimmicks? Like different personas?
Well, I would say starting out he did, because trying to find his character. So I would say, yeah, he had multiple personas because, like starting out, you typically didn't just start out as who popular you are. So yeah, I would say he had different.
Okay, did this person wrestle at a Royal Rumble and changed into the multiple personas?
What do you mean by that?
Which means that he got thrown out as one persona, went underneath the ring, changed his outfit to another persona, came out as that person.
No, if
So
you're
it's not
thinking like a Mick Foley, no.
Yeah, that's what I was
like
thinking.
A Dude Love, Cactus Jack, no. But like what I'm thinking, multiple personas is like, let's say you started off as a jobber and you're just like, Robert Wheeler Gaming, and then you come in there and you're like Super Robert Wheeler.
I was
Gaming,
also thinking it would be something like Izem Yankum DDS, and then you turn it into the fake Kane or fake Diesel.
Yeah,
turn it to Kane.
That would be multiple personas, but not multiple personas of like, you wrestled and you change it into Dude Love, something like that. No.
So since I'm on question 12, I will use my second hint.
Okay. Predominantly a tag team during the Attitude Era.
So then how did he go on and win a world title? Was it prior? Predominantly a tag team during the Attitude Era.
This should give it to you, so.
It doesn't give it to me, though. Predominantly a tag team during a Attitude Era.
And now you have one last
hint, yes.
Hint.
All right,
and then you're on question, what, 13?
No, I'm on question 12.
12? Okay.
Yeah. So you said during the Attitude Era, he was predominantly a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that maybe he won the title after Attitude Era. So I'm thinking, okay, so when this person was in the tag team, did this person have an agency for them to fight people and like drink beer? You had to knock on their door to come in.
Yes.
Okay. I know it's one of the two. Okay. So I'm going to say, did this person say damn a lot?
Well, I mean, depending how you would want to put it, like
when you say
on screen, maybe
no, like on screen, like when you called his name, he went damn.
No.
Okay, so then it's the other one. All right. So was this person when he was in the Attitude Era part of the Ministry of Darkness?
Yes.
Okay. I know who it is. I'm going to go do more clues to make sure. Okay, when this person did a singles match, did he have a big feud with Eddie Guerrero?
Ooh. Let me check.
Oh, then it might not be it if you have to check it. Because that would have been one of his predominant ones.
Yes.
Okay. So then that's something. Okay, I would just go on a limb and use my last hint, which I pretty much this is just verifying all my people.
Okay, so last hint, he is in the Hall of Fame.
Is he in the Hall of Fame though? I didn't know. Is he? I wonder what year he's in the Hall of Fame then.
You sure it's the guy you're thinking of? Then
it is the guy I'm
if
thinking
he's in the
of,
Hall of Fame.
I don't remember him being in the Hall of Fame. I know his partner's in the Hall of Fame, and he did it. I don't know if he was in the Hall of Fame. Huh? That's news. Side note: this doesn't count on that. What year in the Hall of Fame was he?
Is that your question, or
no? It's just a side.
I believe it's 2020.
So it was more recent. Okay. Did this person have? Let's see. Did this person have as his finishing move the clothesline from hell?
I don't know if it was branded as that, but he did have a clothesline.
Yeah.
as his finisher move.
That's 15. Okay, so
if you know it, I mean, you don't want to try to take the record of me when I was able to guess it real
well,
super
I'm
quick.
already past what the record is because you did it in like 9 or 10 questions. I'm already on 16, so. But I'm going to go and guess it because I'm pretty much, with all the questions I've asked, I pretty much got it.
Okay.
If it's not this person, then you threw me into a loop and I had to congratulate you. But this person is one half of APA. His name is Justin Bradshaw Layfield, and he had a big feud with Eddie Guerrero. So I'm going with JBL.
You, sir, are correct. I did not know you were going to get this one, but I wanted to give you one that was like, you know, because I'm usually picking these 80s guys and modern one, but by giving you the clue that he was predominantly tag team during the...
That did not help.
What ended up helping that, like, made you figure out that you were for certain that it was JBL, because when I'll tell you the backstory of it. When I went to choose it, I said he had to have won at least one title, like, in his career. So, you know, because then if you're like, oh, is he a world champ? Yeah, he's only won it one time, so he's only been a world champ. He beat Eddie Guerrero at the Great American Bash for the world title. That I didn't know, but I was also wondering if you were going to say if he had a feud with John Cena. Another thing,
I don't remember his feud with John Cena.
Yeah, the U.S. title was with John Cena. The one thing, too, I did not know about him that I was waiting for you to ask, he's a Grand Slam champion, which I did not know.
I didn't know that.
He won the IC title after his run as a world champion. But what was weird, though, is he held the world title or WWE title, whichever one it was, for almost a year.
Yeah.
So it was like
he held it for a long time because he had a big feud with Eddie Guerrero.
That's what was crazy. But what do you think? So what was the clue that gave it?
You were saying it was a like he was known predominantly as a tag team. I could not figure it out because I was thinking that he won the world title in the 80s and then became, like, they put them together as a tag team in the 90s.
It could have been Edge or Christian. No,
for the Attitude Era, so that threw me off. And then when you were saying that, when I asked if he was, like, predominantly known as a tag team, you said yes.
It could have been Edge or Christian.
I know. So I was throwing up all these ones there.
So sorry. Before we jump in, so he won the title in 2004, but his last championship to be like the Grand Slam, he beat CM Punk for the Intercontinental title in 2009. So that's how he won his
Grand Slam.
That's what I was saying. It's like later on he ended up winning it. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so then I was asking the questions of, you know, did he win a world title? You said yes. So then I was trying to figure out, okay, was it pre-attitude, post-attitude? And then you said he wasn't wrestling today, so then that threw her off. There, I was leaning towards more of Mankind because when I asked about the personas, you said yes, and so I thought that it was Mankind. So that's why I was asking if he changed it during the Royal Rumble. So I didn't know who he was at that time because I thought it was Mankind because I thought it was going to be Dude Love, Cactus Jack, and then so when I asked if he changed it and you said no. Then I was like, okay, well, who else was during it?
Remember, he started it off roughly as Justin Hawk Bradshaw.
Yeah, because he was part of the Blackjacks.
Then he had the APA, and then he came out as the JBL with the with the car, and so he had multiple personas.
Yeah, no,
that's why I was.
You're right with that.
That's why I was trying to explain.
I was just trying to think of it more of the
not like a multiple personas at one time. That's why I was like, because even John Cena started out as like the prototype. But
I was thinking more of Mankind at that time, and then when you said no, then I was like, okay, well, who else could it be? That was a predominant tag team during that time, and so I was leaning towards like Edge and Christian or
Edge and Christian, Edge and Christian,
Edge, and then when I said if they joined the Ministry of Darkness, you said yes. Then the only tag team that was part of the Ministry of Darkness was
Edge and Christian.
I don't think that they were part of the Ministry of Darkness.
They were part of some kind of
Because they were the Brood.
They were part of the Brood, but I can't remember if they were
Minister of Darkness.
ever joined. Because I thought that was funny, though, when you talked about that they had their own agency. I totally forgot about that. The APA.
Then, so then when I was like, okay, so the APA, so then I was trying to figure out, when I thought it was the APA, I was trying to figure out which APA person it was. So I said, did they have an agency during the thing? Because they had the Alkalite Protection Agency. Mm-hmm. And then when I said, damn, because they would always say Farouk, and he'd come up and go, damn.
But remember, though, he won the title in like the 80s, I believe it was.
Farouk
70s or 80s.
The WCW World title as Ron Simmons. So he should be a Grand Slam. Or
I think he won it.
Because I don't think he won the IC belt or one of the mid-card belts.
I don't think so.
He only won a world title.
I think he won world title after that. But, you know, like, you got to give also Ron Simmons credit for taking on, you know, being this part of the tag team and the gimmick to help Bradshaw kind of... Because, you know, you think he's later in his career to be able to help Bradshaw kind of develop his character and be good. Like, you got to give Ron Simmons credit for... A lot of people don't.
He was the first black world champion.
I'm not even thinking about that, though. But
no, but I was thinking, you know, so you saw his accolade with going into
how he developed.
Then he did with the Nation of Domination and how it's a predominant black team.
Because you could think too, he could have been like, I don't want this young nobody, and then they came up with this whole tag team, this whole gimmick, and he became even more popular than he was when he was in the Nation of Domination and thing like that.
And so still wrestling. Being older than most of the ones that were in APA.
So to be able to, like, nobody gives him credit to be able to say, like, bringing Bradshaw on the ropes and being able to help him wrestle and do things that, you know, to help him develop his character. I think you got to give Ron Simmons some credit for at least helping Bradshaw.
And so after I knew it wasn't Ron Simmons, I knew it was Bradshaw. But I had to make sure that it was. So that's why I was asking if he had a feud with Eddie Guerrero, because that was his number one predominant feud. Because if you remember,
at the Great
Eddie
American
Guerrero
Bash
would come out with the Lowriders with Chavo, and then JBL would go and damage the car, and then he'd come out with his car with the horns, longhorn horns on there, and come out with, he is a financial guru and all this kind of stuff like that, and come out with his money. He was good as a heel, never good as a baby face.
You know, he was also one of those that only won the title one time. So he's
held it for a long time. Make it seem like
because he beat Brock Lesnar for the title, I believe, at WrestleMania. But it was like when I was looking for, they had some good choices. But I might use one next time because I was leaning on another person to choose. And I was like, that one would be a good one too. But I was like, that one you'd probably easily get. Yeah. So I might choose that one for next time. That's what
happens when, like, I was asking like ChatGPT certain wrestlers and stuff. And they gave me a list of it. And I'm like, this person's way too easy to guess. He'd probably guess that. This one's too easy to guess. Probably guess that. So, but I'm like, the list was kind of good, but I was like, but see, like, it's hard for you to try to stump my mind palace of the wrestling one, because
look, I'll give you two of these guys I'm not going to choose, but I want to give
that you forget and because choose them next time.
How I told you, I'll give you the three that they outside of who they gave me. Yokozuna.
Okay, that would have been a good one,
but I was like, that one's kind of
no, that would have been a good one.
That would have been a good one, but I also think it would kind of. It's one of those where it's like I've been choosing like a lot of 80s, early 90s guys.
Yeah, but I mean that's the predominant one that I know that it's harder for you to guess. But that would have been good. I probably would have been able to guess it.
I think you still would have. This person you probably would have got too. Sheamus.
Oh, I don't know. That's a kind of
he won. One. They said he beat John Cena in 7 minutes. So he has a lot of career feuds.
Yeah, but. That one would have probably been like that. Probably would have taken me to almost towards the end.
And then somebody else that they said who is wrestling today, Finn Balor. He's won.
Finn. I may have been able to get Finn Balor.
And you remember he was the first Universal champion before he got injured, and he never got it.
Who did he get injured by? Seth freaking Rollins. Rollins ended Sting's career and ended Finn Balor's career at the beginning.
So they gave me 2 other ones that I thought was interesting too. Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero would have been good. It would have been easy.
So Eddie Guerrero
is a Grand Slam champion.
No, but he won the title from Brock Lesnar and then lost to JBL pretty much the same year.
Yeah.
Because they both fought in 2004. And then Kevin Nash they were going to give me as well. Because his one Nash title reign in 94 to 95.
Kevin Nash would have been good, but it probably would have been Kevin Nash out of all those ones, Kevin Nash would have probably been the easiest one. Yokozuna would have probably been second.
Yeah.
But Sheamus would have been a good one.
Sheamus I was thinking of too, because I was like, he semi-wrestles today. Yeah. Because he's not on, he's somewhat on TV. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But I was also wondering, I was like, how, that would be an easy one.
That would have been a tough one because a lot of the time and I'm going to give you my, what they say, Achilles heel, which some people say Aqueous, which was
Aqueous
funny. Heel. But the whole John Cena's era, the attitude, or not the attitude, but the
ruthless
aggression era, I blacked out on most of them. So
next time I'm giving you.
So I said, I don't remember because a lot of that blends in. So I don't really remember those eras of how to break that one down.
Like the Miz winning the title and stuff like that.
Yeah, and was there because a lot of the times I was just bored with wrestling at that time, and so I'd watch on occasion and be like, "Oh, this person's champion!" Because when the rated R superstar Edge ended up getting
I didn't think Edge at the time was a good.
Yeah, I don't think he would have
world
made it
champion. Why would you give it an Edge? That's weird. But the crazy thing about that, though, is both Edge and Christian are probably the best tag team of all time because they also had better solo careers.
And I actually liked Christian better than Edge. I thought Christian would have made a better champion.
I thought his move was funnier. The prettier. I thought that was always funny.
Yeah.
But
so I always liked Christian better than Edge.
But the reason why too is you got to think even when you look at Edge this time, it's kind of like his skills were he was a good wrestler before he took off as the rated R superstar. And it was basically I'm good on the mic, but then I don't refine my skills in the ring.
Same with the Hardy Boys. I never saw Jeff Hardy as a world champion when he won it.
You always saw Matt Hardy.
I saw Matt Hardy that could have the
even though he's broken. Delete.
But it's it ended up doing it where they gave more of Jeff Hardy the push
because he was the more popular one at the time.
Matt Hardy was more mid tier. That's why he'd only have the mid tier. But
20 questions.
I got that correct on there. So
that's interesting.
Were you able to guess it before me? Put that in the comments below. But this is the best wrestling game on the internet. But like always, I'm Dark Knight 316. That's Robert Wheeler Gaming. And we'll see you on the next episode of Tackles and Takedowns and the next episode of Wrestling 20 Question. We'll see you.
Take it easy, guys. God bless you.
See you.